Well, hello guys, my name is Nick from Nickstoygarage, and today I'm doing a quick little video, a quick little restoration on this Majorette Peugeot 405 MI16. Yes, it's a mouthful, it's a magnificent car, I love this car to bits, and I hope to drive this car one day. So it's skirting into frame right here, and let's take a close look at this car. The paint, well, it's ruined. The glass, there's a little crack in the middle of the windshield, but oh well, nothing to do about that. The rear lights and the headlights are actually molded into the glass itself, so they're actually, well, plastic and come off separately. And there I'm just testing the suspension like you're supposed to do when buying a used car. Also the door's open and it has quite a nice interior in the car. So first order of business is to drill out the only rivet. I take my little drilling thingy-majig right there, put on my drill, and just drill out the rivets. With the Majorettes, it's quite easy. They just release, if you pull up while you're drilling down, they just release like that really easily. Then you just lift the front, slide it back, and the hook just comes right off. And the fun thing with these Majorette models are the springs. You just have to lift up and pull forward on the axles and they just come right out, and the spring can be released with a little bit of force or a screwdriver like I did right here. Now it's time to take out the interior, the front and the rear bumper. They're all molded in one. Just pull up on them and I just release. They're quite dirty, so they could use a little bit of scrub, but I'm going to keep them black because I like a black interior in my red car. Next it's time to take out the windshields and then the front and rear lights, but they put up a little bit of a fight, so I used my handy dandy screwdriver to pry open just a little bit, so the glass will just release. I've even opened the doors thinking that would make a difference. It didn't, obviously. Normally I would take out the doors because for the sandblasting step I just leave them on because I don't want to lose them in the pile of glass shards I use in my sandblasting cabinet. But first, before we go to sandblasting cabinet, obviously I drill a little pilot hole so it will accept a self-tapping screw in the future, so it can easily be taken apart again if I want to redo this car. Now it's time for the sandblasting cabinet step, my favorite step of every restoration. Just about 1 or 2 minutes in this cabinet and it's just so satisfying. After that's done, I take the base and just do it because there was a little bit of clay on the base. So that just flies off with the sandblasting cabinet. Next, for primer, I'm using a fine surface primer by Tamiya in grey, leaving between 15 to 20 minutes between coats and doing 2 or 3 coats, in this case 2 coats in total, one with the doors open and one with the doors closed, so I do every door jamb and don't miss anything. Next, after the primer step, well, this primer has dried, I go on to the color. I choose the original red, kind of the original red, a little bit darker than the original red, but I just love this car in red, so I went with that. I do 3 coats in total, again, one with the doors open, one with the doors closed, and then one more with the doors closed again. Last coat being kind of thick, so I get a nice shiny finish and I don't miss any of the door jambs, so when the doors are open or closed you don't ever see bare metal or primer. Next it's time for the fine details, starting with the grille. I've been doing that in black on this car because I wanted it to stand out quite a bit. Then I take my toothpick and instead of doing them silver, I picked black for the door handles. And if I do say so myself, looking back at the car, I made a right decision. Next, it's time for my grey, well, my silverish paint. And off camera, I'm painting in the Peugeot logo. Right there. After that's dry, I also do the Peugeot logo on the front in the same grey. Then it's time to clean. It's time to take my toothbrush, some hot soapy water and clean the interior. after that's done, I take my toothpick again, and I take my silverish paint to paint in the rims, so they go back to their chrome silverish self. And I do say so myself, again, that wasn't even a sentence, but if I do say so myself, it looks pretty smacking good. After that's done, it's time to concentrate my efforts on the windshield. Well, the glass, the headlights and the taillights, just a little bit of compound, a little of polish and the rag, and they just shined up pretty nice. Then it's on to the reassembly. First I do the wheels and axles, and then I just reattach the spring. The taking apart is quite easy, the putting back together is a little bit fiddly. As you can see right there, one of the axles just had to fly off into space. Well, not really. So I just had to do it again, and the second time I was lucky, and the spring just snapped right into place. Sometimes you need a screwdriver to snap it back into place, but this time it worked with my hands. There we go. There I'm inspecting if the spring is in the right position, so the wheels actually look fine, and yes, they do. Then the model and the glass goes back in. Well, the proper way won't this time. Thank you very much. Just slide it into the front, and there we go. Slide the headlights into place, and it's in. Next, it's time to refit the interior, the front and rear bumper. And last but not least, you just hook the back from the base and just snap in the front, finishing off with, like always, a self-tapping screw, so it can easily be taken apart again in the future if I ever want to redo this model. So that's gonna be everything for this really short restoration. This is it before the restoration, with missing paint, a dull glass, the wheels were all black, and it was just past its prime. And obviously after, it was a really short restoration, but this is it after the restoration in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. It's nice and red, silver bumpers, silver wheels, nice glass, and just adding in some details. So if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe for more content, and then I have one more message. Like always, I want to personally thank every single one of my Patreons for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. Bye.